Hey guys, it's me Astrid, and today I wanted to make a video coming at you with 3 different species phals that I have grown. We all know phals are peasant orchids, but I can't help but adopt them because they grow so easy and they bloom so pretty and they stay in flower a long time. So, you can't resist having like 20 or 70 phals in any given collection. Um, but yeah, I wanted to just go ahead and show you these. So this is from a friend I did an orchid trade with. This one is bellina cerulean, and it's really cute. I love it. It got 1 flower. There's actually 2 plants in this pot, and I'm growing it in semi-hydro, and I've layered moss on the top so that the moisture kind of wicks out more slowly, and so when I do water it, this moss holds on to a little moisture and kind of keeps the upper air roots a little more moist, although you can see back here that that's not always the case, that they stay well hydrated. Yeah, this plant I've had just for about, 4 or 5 months maybe, and it already bloomed this very cute little flower. It smells sweet, but it honestly kind of smells like hand soap. Also, something else I've grown is this little guy. This is my baby boy Albert. I got him. When did I get you? Last October when you were 3 months old. And now he's a year old, and he doesn't want to be on video, but he's so cute, so I have to make you a little. Oh, buddy. Okay, he's gonna sit in my lap. But anyway, that's the bellina. This is great. Everybody should have one of these because these flowers are so striking. They're fashion. They're totes fashion. Okay, let's move on to the next species phal. This one is pulchra. This was given to me as a keiki by a member of my orchid society about 2 years ago. And this one is notorious for making keikis. You can see it's got these lovely, waxy, purple flowers. And if you can see here, there's the lip is like kind of fimbriated. It's got those little spikes on it, and that's really cool. My camera does not want to focus up close on this, but that's okay. But I love these waxy little flowers, and they're really close to the plant. It's got a really cute blooming habit, and I love how the petals are kind of wavy. Also, this plant has nice foliage. It's always been kind of lighter for me, and I don't know if it's because I'm giving it too much light, growing it under lights or what, but this one is really, really cute. And if you have it and you want it to bloom, I've just been cutting off any keikis that form. It's only happened once or twice in the year or 2 since I've got it, and then suddenly it decided to bloom 1 flower off of each plant. So that's cool. I guess the first 2 have been double phals. So, and let's look at the last Phalaenopsis orchid. By the way, this one, people say that it has a sweet fragrance, but I don't smell anything off of it. So maybe mine's just a dud, or maybe it's like a first bloom off a keiki, so it's not going to be as fragrant as the next bloom. But as far as I can tell right now, this one, it doesn't have much of a fragrance. Also in semi-hydro, look at them roots. Okay, the last one we've got is Phalaenopsis regneiriana. And one thing I wanted to point out about this one is that when I got it, it had these very, very long petals, or leaves, sorry, this is a leaf. And then when I started growing it under lights, the last 3 leaves that have come in have been 1, 2, 3, they've been really small. And I don't think that's because it's nutritionally deprived, because as you can see, there's a spike. I think that's because this has been getting adequate light. And when plants get adequate light, their leaves grow shorter because they don't need to put as much energy into spreading themselves out to absorb, sunlight. So they need less energy in the leaves. I think that's why it's growing smaller. But then I've got these ridiculous long leaves and these very short leaves, and it's kind of funky right now. And this one is so cool. It went into spike. I had no idea it was going to spike for me anytime soon, but it did. And it's got this spike. The flowers started here, and it has a blooming habit similar to a Prosthecia cochleata, where it has a lot of buds, but it will only have a few flowers in bloom at one time, and then they drop off, and then it keeps growing and growing and growing on the end of the spike, and more buds form. So that's pretty cool. It's also just like, look, it's so tall, and it's such a tiny plant. Like, I have to be careful not to break it when I'm watering it. And here's the flowers. It kind of reminds me of Vanda teres a little bit. I think that's what it's called, that strap-leafed Vanda. So if you want a sort of vandaceous looking phal and you live in a cooler climate with less sunlight like me, phal regneiriana might be a nice choice for you. And this one I bought at an orchid show, so yeah. The spike was straight for a long time, but it's started to bend down. I wanted to talk to you guys about the growing conditions I have these in, because it's kind of useless to be like, look at these blooms that I grew, and not tell you like what conditions they're in. So I have them under lights between 12 and 16 hours a day, depending on the time of year. It increases in summer and decreases in winter. They grow in my basement, so the humidity is very constant. My orchid collection has been doing a lot better since they've started living in a basement, hilariously, because basements seem like a terrible place for orchids. But because the basement holds on to humidity, I have humidity like between 50 and 60% at all times in the basement, and orchids really, really like that. And then in the winter, the basement ranges from like 60 to 75 degrees, I think. And right now in summer, it's ranging from 70 to 73. So it's pretty narrow range, but I think these summer blooming species phals like that nice, easy range. So good light, good humidity, good temps. I don't fertilize because I'm lazy, and yet my orchids still bloom. Thanks, guys. Thanks. And lastly, my water is like super pure. It's like under 20 ppm TDS, so I'm lucky in that way. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for listening to me rant about talk about my little orchids. I'm gonna try to film more videos for you guys. I really am. I've taken some time off of work to kind of figure out what I want to do with my life, and while I do that, I'm gonna show you my flowers. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking now.